Hello, this is a tutorial for National 4 music students. To complete this tutorial, you will need a pen and paper. At the end of the tutorial, please take a photograph of your notes and send them in on Teams. Thank you. The specific music concepts that you'll be learning about in this tutorial are pedal, rallentando, tempo, andante, verse, chorus, backing vocals, saxophone, change of key, and simple time. Your first activity is to write a list of those concepts, and I'm going to repeat them. Feel free to pause the recording after each word as you write them down. The concepts that you'll be learning about are pedal, rallentando, tempo, andante, moderato, verse, chorus, backing vocals, saxophone, change of key, and simple time. Please also make sure that your name and the date is written at the top of your notes. That's much easier for us to track when you're handing in your different pieces of work. Thank you. So, have a listen to the track that we're going to be analysing today. It's just over 2 minutes long. So your second activity is just to listen to the track all the way through.
My eyes adored you, though I never laid a hand on you. My eyes adored you. Like a million miles away from me, you couldn't see how I adored you. So close, and yet so far. Headed for city lights, climbed the ladder up to fortune and fame. Worked my fingers to the bone, made myself a name. Funny, I seem to find that no matter how the years unwind, still I reminisce about the girl I miss and the love I left behind. My eyes adored you, though I never laid a hand on you. My eyes adored you. Like a million miles away from me, you couldn't see how I adored you. So close, and yet so far. My eyes adored you, though I never laid a hand on you. My eyes adored you. Like a million miles away from me, you couldn't see how I adored you. So close, and yet so far. So close, and yet so far.
So the first concept that you're going to learn about is the pedal. Now, a pedal, as a National 4 concept, is a repeated note. It's a single note, and it's either held and sustained, or it's repeated over and over again, and it's just a single note. I'd like you to listen to the introduction again, and your third activity is to identify the pedal and tell me which family of instruments play the pedal. That's right, it was the string family. So during this introduction, you've got an electric clean guitar, And behind that, kind of in the background, the strings are sustaining the same note almost for 10 seconds before that note changes. So the continuous single note is called a pedal. So now let's analyse the time signature and tempo of this music. Listen to another extract and tap the pulse. Let's work out whether this music is in simple time or compound time. As you're tapping the pulse, if the beat divides evenly into 2, then this music is written in simple time. If you can divide the beat into 3, remember we can say lemonade, 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 then the music will be in compound time. So activity 4 is to work out whether the music is in simple or compound time.
Headed for city lights, climb the ladder up to fortune and fame. Worked my fingers to the bone, made myself a name. Funny, I seem to find that no.
So this music is in simple time. The beat divides evenly into 2. So the process, first of all, is finding the beat and then subdividing that beat into 2 or 3 and seeing which one fits. So I'll demonstrate that now. Firstly, find the pulse and see if that divides evenly into 2. It does, so it's in simple time. Now have a listen to another extract of the same track, and we're going to think about the tempo. So the tempo describes the speed of the music.
Though I never laid a hand on you, my eyes adored you. Like a million miles away from me, you couldn't see how I adored you. So close, and yet so far.
So that was neither really slow or really fast, somewhere in the middle. And 2 good tempo markings that you need to learn are Andante, which means at walking speed, and Moderato, which means moderately. So as you're listening and you find that pulse and you're counting, if it feels that you could walk along to this, it's at walking speed, then Andante is the tempo that you want to go for, or Moderato, moderately. So tempo doesn't always stay the same all the way through a piece of music. In fact, the composer keeps you interested if he changes the tempo, and it's used on purpose to create an effect. It may linger around on certain words, for example. So have a listen to this excerpt of music, and activity 6, make a note of what happens to the tempo.
Miss and the love I left behind. Miles adored.
And listen to it one more time.
Miss and the love I left behind. Miles adored.
So in this part of the music, the tempo is slowing down. And the National 4 concept that you need to know for slowing down is Rallentando, another Italian term for you. So when the music slows down, it's rallentando. However, at this point in the music, it doesn't just slow down. We're not at the end of the music. It doesn't finish. It goes back to the original tempo. So this is called a tempo, an Italian term meaning back to the original tempo. So we have a rallentando, and then it's back to the original tempo. Have a listen.
Miss and the love I left behind. Miles adored you. Though I never laid a hand on.
So have another listen there. On the word adores, the music goes a tempo back to the original speed.
Miss and the love I left behind. Miles adored you. Though I never laid a hand on.
So let's have a listen to the timbre of this song. What instruments can you hear and what voices can you hear? Activity 7 is to jot down the different instruments and voices that you can hear in the following excerpt.
My eyes adored you, though I never laid a hand on you. My eyes adored you, like a million miles away from me. You couldn't see how I adored you. So close, and yet so far.
And here is that same excerpt again for another listen.
My eyes adored you, though I never laid a hand on you. My eyes adored you, like a million miles away from me. You couldn't see how I adored you. So close, and yet so far.
So you should have written down that there were strings, saxophone, a drum kit or a drum set. Please be specific when you identify drums, that you don't just say drums, but it's, you know, a drum kit, a drum set, or djembe drum or bongo drums, timpani. Please don't just write drums. So drum kit. Then we've got the guitar, bass, and backing singers. Have one more listen to see if you can identify all of those.
My eyes adored you, though I never laid a hand on you. My eyes adored you, like a million miles away from me. You couldn't see how I adored you. So close, and yet so far.
So to keep the music interesting, especially in popular songs, as well as changing the tempo, like slowing down our Rallentando and then going back to the original speed, our tempo, composers like to add in key changes. For National 5 and above, these are modulations. A key change is basically moving from one key to another. So listen to this excerpt, and activity 8 is to draw a smiley face if you can hear the key change, or a sad face if you can't hear the key change.
So close, and yet so far. My eyes adored you, though I never laid a hand on you.
So we have just one more concept to cover from our list today, and that is verse and chorus. So verse and chorus form is popular in popular songs, many songs, and the verse repeats but with different words, and the chorus usually has the same music and the same words and repeats throughout the song. So have a listen to the beginning of this song again after the introduction, and we'll be on activity 8 now. Activity 8 will be to identify whether this song starts with the verse or does it start with the chorus.
My eyes adored you, though I never laid a hand on you. My eyes adored you, like a million miles away from me. You couldn't see how I adored you. So close, and yet so far.
That's right, this piece of music starts with the chorus, and the words of the chorus are: my eyes adored you, though I never laid a hand on you. My eyes adored you, like a million miles away from me. You couldn't see how I adored you. So close, and yet so far. And those lyrics to the music in that chorus comes back 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and then in a little coda at the end of the song as well, like half the chorus appears at the end. So a chorus is repeated words and music throughout the song. So just to recap all the concepts that we've gone over today, that's pedal, rallentando, our tempo, simple time, change of key, andante, verse, chorus, backing vocals, and saxophone. So your last activity is to find out a little bit more about that song. It's called My Eyes Adored You, and it was written by Bob Crewe and Kelly Nolan. Find out which year it was written, has it appeared in any films or musicals, and put the song into context for me. If you could write 50 words in your own writing, that would be fantastic. So the notes that you've made throughout this tutorial and the 50 words about the song at the end, please could you photograph or type up whatever's easiest and hand in to me on Teams. Thank you so much.